Hi, I'm Lucy from Sew Essential, and today I'm bringing you a roundup of patterns, fabrics and tutorials inspired by the Great British Sewing Bee Final Series 11. Let's get started. So last night was the big night. The three finalists were put to the test and Esme and Patrick certainly put them through their paces. The pattern challenge might have seemed at a glance sort of simple, but actually there were quite a lot of complicated techniques and there was a real necessity for very neat sewing and neat cutting when they were tasked with sewing a bias cut slip dress. It had spaghetti straps, it had to be sewn with French seams on the inside, and they were looking for a super neat finish. So, you know, there were lots of things for the bees to consider. Not letting the fabric stretch out as they were sewing it, as they were cutting it. And my top tip for that, if you're working on the bias, sewing using a walking foot can be a great way to prevent the fabric from stretching out. So I'll pop a link to my walking foot video below for you, where you get lots and lots of tips of other uses for a walking foot, but certainly it does help with cutting on the bias. You might want to consider cutting with a rotary cutter and a cutting mat rather than scissors potentially. Some people like to do that. But let's get into the patterns now. So first up, we've got the Sadie slip dress by Tessuti. I love Tessuti patterns. We do their full range and I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. And the Sadie slip dress is quite similar really to what the Sewing Bees made. It's got a scoop neck at the front. It's not a cowl neck, which it was on the Sewing Bee one, but it's got spaghetti straps. As far as slip dresses go, it looks like it's got quite a nice sort of loose silhouette. It's not too sort of overly fitted. Flares out at the bottom as you would expect, and just a very simple design on the back, just a scoop neck on the back as well, and that's just a really beautiful dress that I think you know, would make a beautiful slip dress. Also, I'm going to show you the patterns first, and then I've got a few different fabrics to show you. Simplicity 9745 is another slip dress pattern. This is currently half price in our Simplicity sale as well, so I think it'll be about £7 for this pattern. At the time of recording, the sale will end obviously. But yeah, this is a lovely classic slip dress design as well. You've got two shorter versions. The straps aren't quite as spaghetti as on the Tessuti one. They're a little bit thicker, probably the width of like a little thin bias binding. There is a centre front seam on this one. Bust darts for a bit of shape at the bust, and almost a sort of sweetheart sort of neckline, looking at the line drawings, although on the model it looks very, very subtle, that sort of dip in the centre. And then at the back, the straps tie into a little bow, and there's also a chevron sort of shaped piece at the bottom of the bodice, and then the skirt comes out of that, so that creates a nice shape at the back. So very pretty design there. And then I also wanted to include Vogue 9278. This is a Vogue pattern that includes cup sizes A, B, C and D. So if you're somebody who struggles with having to adjust patterns to fit your bust, these cup size patterns can be great for you because you can cut out the right size cup size. Sometimes you might have a very full bust and a very small frame, and then you have to, if you would choose a smaller pattern size to fit your frame, but then you'd have to do a full bust adjustment to get it to fit your bust. Whereas with the custom fit patterns that have got the cup sizes in, there's quite a lot on our site, you can just choose the cup size and then choose the right size for your frame. So they're great from that point of view, but also just a really nice design. Again, we've got those very thin straps, we've got a definite sort of V at the front, bust darts, and a centre front seam on the bodice piece, which is Empire line, and then the skirt comes out from there, and you've got two different length options. It's fastened at the back with an invisible zip by the looks of it, and yeah, just a very sort of simple silhouette. But what I like about the Vogue one as well is the way that they've paired the shorter version with a turtleneck t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt underneath, and I just thought at this time of year, as we're heading into autumn, that was a really nice idea actually, to make a slip dress and then pair it up with a turtleneck or a thin knit underneath. So that was that one. And then finally, there's a very beautiful dress by Viki Sews, the Lucia dress, quite sort of similar to the Vogue one at the front. It's got a definite V, it's got bust darts. The front bodice is all one piece though, so there aren't any waist seams. And then at the back we've got a lovely deep V, which is finished with a wide sort of piece panel, and then it's got this spaghetti straps crossover at the back to hold that sort of, you know, V, and yeah, just create an interesting little detail. So yeah, I thought that was a very beautiful dress as well. So all of those are designed to be sewn up in things like crepe de chine, satins, viscose satins, anything that's super silky and slippery. Will certainly give you some challenges on the sewing front, but like I say, my top tip is to use a walking foot with those sorts of fabrics. And I thought I'd show you this beautiful viscose satin that we've recently had in. Absolutely lovely colours on this one, really beautiful multicoloured design. Feels quite autumnal to me because it's definitely got those sort of orangey warm hues to it, and it's lovely and silky soft. So that was one choice. And again, if you're not making a slip dress, I mean, certainly a blouse would be absolutely gorgeous in that as well, just a nice autumn blouse to wear with your jeans. And then we've also got this other viscose satin which has been really popular, beautiful design, beautiful autumnal colours again, and again would make great blouses as well if you're not actually making a dress. And we have got more of that one. And then also we've got another viscose satin, which is a fabric godmother one, which I absolutely love, and it's got this big bold print on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's weightier than the other two. The other two are definitely lighter weight than this. This is a much weightier one, but that would also work very, very well with those patterns as well. And then on to the made to measure challenge. So I should have actually looked this up before I did the video, but they did something. It's a French word. People will tell me in the comments, I'm sure, but it's where they were tasked with trying to create like an optical illusion using fabric. So there were some really interesting designs that came out of this, again sort of quite costumey, and I feel like that's been quite a big theme this series actually. There's been a lot more sort of costumey, artistic sort of designs than your standard sort of dressmaking designs, which is always really interesting to watch, and I really admire the sewers for how well they do with that, because I think it's a massive challenge and really stretches their sort of sewing skills and imagination and creativity as well. Yasmin sewed a very fitted satin dress with a pointy collar, and then she created like almost like a heart shape or butterfly wings out of tulle, which she used boning to create. And you know, if you are doing costumes and that sort of thing, I've noticed quite a lot of costume patterns going out. We're heading towards Halloween at the moment. We do a lot of haberdashery on our site, so we do boning. So if you want to create anything with structure and drama like the Sewing Bees did last night, do check out the links to our website below. I'll pop links to all the patterns and fabrics, but also you'll find lots and lots of haberdashery and those sorts of items as well if you want to have a go at some of these things if you're feeling inspired. But yeah, so like Yasmin's dress, the pattern I found that I thought was similar is Vogue 2045, which is a very fitted dress with a sort of pencil skirt shape. You've got the option for the pointy collar that Yasmin used. You've got a sleeveless and a long sleeve version, so Yasmin made a sleeveless version. Hers did have a waist seam, but rather than that on this Vogue pattern, you've got fish darts that sort of open out at the skirt to create some fullness there. It's a double fish dart on the front and a double fish dart on the back. It's also got darts at the neckline as well, so it's really quite an unusual design, really an interesting design to have a go at, and I thought you could combine the collar with the sleeveless version to create something very similar to what Yasmin did. And the fabric I chose for that one, I'm getting really drawn to all the autumnal colours. Quite a few of these patterns today require like ponte or gabardine or things like that, and we've just had loads of new wintry fabrics like that coming in gorgeous autumnal colours. They're not on the website yet though, but they are coming, so stay tuned for those. But in the meantime, we do have this beautiful plum colour prestige crepe. I made a dress in this a couple of years ago and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, I thought that dress would look really pretty sewn up in that. So that was my choice for that one. Yasmin also mentioned the burrito method when she was making, she made like a tie on the front of the dress. And I'll try and remember to pop a link. There is a tutorial on our YouTube channel how to sew the burrito method, and it's not just used for ties. You might want to use it to, I use it very often to do a yoke on a shirt, and it means that you are able to encase everything. It's a double-sided yoke, so you have the right side of the fabric on the inside of the garment and you've got the right side on the outside of the garment. The two wrong sides are together, but it's a clever way of sewing it that you don't have to do any hand sewing and you sort of turn it all through. It's really clever, really satisfying technique to do. So I'm going to try and remember to pop a link below, and I'll put it in our blog post as well, and if I can fit it in, I'll put it in the newsletter as well. I will also put some tips about French seams as well for you. And then on to Orla. So Orla created a black scuba turtleneck dress with a very full skirt, and didn't have long sleeves, it had short sleeves, and then she put long gloves on, and then she created these structures that came out of the front of the dress. I think she had a lot of stress creating it. I think you know, it was touch and go, I thought, whether she was going to pull it off, because I think she said she hadn't tested it before the show properly, so I think she was really under pressure. But that's one of the things that was amazing about Orla the whole way through. She just seemed to cope so well under pressure, and that was so lovely to see. I always admire people like that, because I am not. I'm a bit of a flapper under pressure. So but yeah, the dress, a couple of dresses I thought were similar to what Orla made. Vogue 1907, which is a knit dress pattern. It's got like quite a big sort of cowl / turtleneck design, quite a deep sort of round neckline that's attached to, an empire line at the bust, and then it's got a flared skirt which you can either do as a midi length or you can do just above the knee, and then it's got long sleeves with a little gathered sleeve head, so it creates a little bit of a puff at the shoulder, and I just thought that would be a really nice cozy, warm but smart dress to wear in the winter. And again, our beautiful new ponties would have been perfect for that one, but I picked up our Suzette stretch crepe in navy. It's sort of a French navy, so it's a bluey navy rather than a very, very dark navy, and it's just got a little bit of texture on it. It's a ponty weight, it's got a good amount of stretch, and I just thought that would make a lovely, warm but smart and comfortable dress, because it's a knit, which is always nice for the autumn winter. And then I also thought Simplicity 9176 was a good match for what Orla made as well. And this is also half price in our pattern sale, so I just thought, well, that's always a bonus for people, isn't it? It's, again, very similar shape to the last one, but this one's designed for woven fabrics. It's got less of a smaller turtleneck, only a small turtleneck, more of a sort of standard crew neck neckline. It's got bust darts. You can make a sleeveless short sleeve or a long sleeve version. It's got a waist seam, and then it's got the flared skirt, and again just a nice smart dress for autumn. You can make a nice belt to go around it as well. I always loved this when it first came out, and you can make this in a range of fabrics. She does suggest actually you can make this in ponties and things like that, as well as the woven fabrics, but I was on my sort of autumnally colour crepe sort of theme when I was picking out fabrics this morning, and I thought this lovely teal coloured prestige crepe would work really well for that. And just like the model on the packet, just pair it with some knee-high boots, and then a nice jacket, and you'd be good to go. And then finally, Caz made something really wacky and zany and very, very personal to her. It was, you know, it was really lovely actually what she did and how she talked about it. But she made a very fitted, almost like bodycon sundress, and then she created a big rib cage using boning again and using faux leather, and it had a zip down the front, an exposed zip, and she just did an absolutely amazing job of it. It really was a sight to behold. and her daughter-in-law modelled it. It was really lovely. So obviously, you know, I'm imagining not many people are going to be wanting to make a dress with a big rib cage around it, but I just took inspiration from it. The dress itself, I thought Nomi 2094 was, you know, along a similar theme. It's a very fitted bodycon style strappy dress. It also has, it's got cups, and then it's got two pieces that come above the cups, and that almost echoed that rib cagey design for me. It's got a waist seam, a very fitted sort of pencil skirt with a slit up it, and then at the back it's just straight across, and I think it's fastened with a zip at the back rather than the front, which Caz's was. It's got princess seams on the front that open out into that slit on one side, and I thought you could sew that up in our Mystique satin. It's like a lighter weight Duchess satin. So you've got your high shine satin side, and you've got your matte with a subtle sheen side. You could choose either of those to sew that dress up, and it would create something similar to what Caz made. And then I also thought I've just got to include McCall 7306, which is a costume pattern, because it just reminded me of what Caz made. So with this pattern, you get several corset patterns included. You get some patterns included for sort of frilly bloomer / knicker type things, like a little collar thing, even a little crown. But the thing that reminded me of Caz was the massive skirt that's created using boning. It's like very structured and structural, and I just thought as we head towards Halloween, people might be making costumes and outfits and things, and I thought this one could tick that box really nicely. Somebody might do something really creative with this, so I wanted to share that one as well. But I think that's it from me. I can't quite believe we've reached the end of the series. It just seems to go in the blink of an eye. You know, you think, oh, there's 10 weeks, that's a long time, it's a good couple of months. And then here we are again, it's done, it's finished. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. I certainly did. Thanks for watching along. Don't forget, I make a video every week regardless of whether there's sewing bees on, so do sign up and subscribe to our channel if you've enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.